Well, it's been a while. I'll admit, it's been a while, okay? So I figured we would bring back some Clash as per the channel title, and do a little bit of review because I am going to be teaching, or not teaching, but I'm going to be having our assessment on the Frankenstein unit here very soon. So, as you can see, we've brought back our good friend, the library, so that I can show you the texts as I talk about them. And there's a little bit to talk about here. I'm really just going to be going over, obviously not the questions, right? But what you should be looking at, studying, familiarizing yourself with, so that you're adequately prepared for the assessment, right? So, let's hop in. I have something very exciting to show you, by the way. I'm going to scroll down here. I upgraded my furnace with some wildcards that I had, and I leveled up. Finally, level 16 towers. Only took me so long. So let's hop in here. I'm playing this absolutely outrageous deck that I don't, quite frankly, I just don't remember making. And we're just going to see how that does for us. So one of the main excerpts that we'll be talking about, this guy's saying good luck, in the assessment is Chapter 4 of the first volume. This is the big scene, right, where Frankenstein infuses his creation with the spark of life. And we spent a good deal of time talking about this specific scene. This is going to be a pain. Mostly because of the interesting contradictions that Victor kind of brings up about his observations. He sees his creature as successful and beautiful and so forth. That was a really bad play. Oh my god. Alright, look, I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm not giving up. Okay, maybe I'm giving up. That guy beat me so bad that my entire Wi-Fi went down. He crashed the game. That's how bad I got beat. I'm just gonna restart my thought. I just had to go for like 5 to 10 minutes to go fix my Wi-Fi. So, that's a first. Let's do our first game and actually start talking about Chapter 4. This is one of the first excerpts you'll be reading for the assessment. I'm also having a horrible hair day, so just kind of like ignore whatever's happening right here. Oh my god. Alright, slow down, buddy. So Chapter 4, right? It's the creation scene. And the interesting thing about this is that we've heard since like the beginning of the book how invested and excited Victor was. I mean, he was painstakingly crafting this thing for a year, right? And we see finally at the beginning of Chapter 4, this thing comes to life. And Victor's reaction is he's not pleased. As a matter of fact, he describes it as a dream vanishing. Where is it? I want to see if I can find it in the book. The dream vanished. This is a quote that comes up soon. I believe it's here. The beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart, he says. Those are some pretty intense feelings, if I'm being completely honest with you. But let me go backwards here, because we're not quite there yet, okay? So let's talk about the description of the monster first, right? Because, again, something important to know about the assessment is that it's going to expect you to know a good variety of the chapters in question, right? not just what happens, because yeah, like you could provide a summary, sure, but like what does it mean? That's what we're trying to figure out. So we have this description. He describes it as beautiful, or at least intended to be beautiful. Oh my god, I'm playing against a golem. Speaking of monsters. However, he also specifies, and I'm going to highlight it on the page here for you, these luxuriances, I don't know if I can, oh I can, formed a more horrid contrast, right? Essentially, as if to say, he's got these, like, beautifully human features. This is terrifying, by the way. But those human features are contrasted by the fact that he still looks like a corpse, right? We call that, uncanny, the uncanny valley, right? In German, there's a word called unheimlich, which means, I think, unhomely, or not familiar. And this is the kind of vibe that Victor's getting, right? He's not comfortable. It was meant to be human, but it became something else. Don't tell me I'll win this game after this guy whooped me with 2 golems. Dude, I'm like highlighting text and flipping through a book. And my Wi-Fi went down and I fixed it. That didn't have anything to do with the game. I just am still bragging about the fact that I fixed it. I didn't cry. I didn't crumble into anxious nothing. Anyway, I got a text. Is it my Wi-Fi company? Hi, it's Verizon. Oh. Anyway. Apex Predators. Let's continue. It's your time. So we see things like he's beautiful. His yellow skin. Oh my freaking god, bruh. Oh my freaking god, bruh. Oh my Frankenstein. What are these decks? Elite Barbs. Yellow skin scarcely covering the bones. Watery eyes, like that of a corpse. Nice activation there. Lustrous black and flowing hair, right? So again, like a lot of human traits. But going back to what I said, not human enough, right? I keep doing that, expecting that to like train them around, and it never works the way I expect it to. He's gonna play his Elite Barbs in front of the Wizard. I'm calling it right now, so let me focus for when he does that. I may not have P.E.K.K.A in time. He did log though, so he's still down a bit. Is he not gonna do it? That's the question. Okay, soaked 1 hit. He's still got Elite Barbs in hand though. Anyway, so then we get to that quote that I wanted to talk about, where all of the excitement, all of the years of study, his passions poured into this, it all vanished, right? As soon as the thing came to life, because, I mean, for lack of better words, it was a disappointment to Victor, right? It was terrifying, you know, disgusting. Yeah, I mean, you can do that all you want, dude. I got you this time. Nice. And so he's exhausted, he's sick, he spent so much time working on this thing, right? And he's like, he sees its eyes open, he can't bear the thought of it. So he rushes off to his bedroom to kind of like hide for a bit and get some rest, because he's exhausted. And, oh my god, that's gonna jump! Oh! Okay, was not expecting that. However, that's a waste. That's also a waste, dude. Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice. Now he doesn't have E-Barbs. He doesn't have E-Barbs or Wizard. He's screwed, right? Oh, he's that, though. Wizard, I mean, P.E.K.K.A heals off the Wizard. figured I would try just in case. 7. Ooh, that was so close. That was too close, even. Berserker, go. Ha. I just baited the Mega Knight. Sorry, I'm like focusing really hard right now because I cannot lose to a freaking Elite Barbs player right now. That's arguably worse than your Wi-Fi going out. I do have the damage lead, but only by a little bit here. So I'm gonna do one of these. Because he keeps splitting his troops up for whatever reason. He's gonna put Elite Barbs or something. Nice. Put Furnace here. Put Ram Rider here. Oh god, I may have put him too far down, I don't know. No, I didn't. The split lane pressure is too much, he can't deal with it. Oh my god, he used Elite Valkyrie. Hold on, I need to focus right now. Or Evolve Valkyrie, whatever. Let's go, that's damage. Spirit Empress, yep, I knew it. And I'm still spelling his tower over and over again because he keeps giving me value, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Yep, you could try that too. It's too bad you play a troll deck, my friend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright, speaking of bye-bye, when Victor wakes up, he has this crazy dream. When he wakes up, the monster has found his way to the bedroom. And says, "Good morning, Victor." He doesn't actually say that, but he opens the curtain, and Victor's like, "Oh my god, this thing is walking, and it's staring right at me. It's not saying anything, it's kind of..." Okay, well... Alright, well... It's not saying anything, it's kind of mumbling, he's freaked out, so he runs. Naturally, right? He runs away. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to be responsible for it. He doesn't want to acknowledge it. You know, it's a disgrace. Kind of like that play. He runs. He takes refuge in the courtyard. Everything that brings him pleasure has now become a hell to him, right? As he expresses at the bottom of this page, right? Now, this is also a good time to mention that the order of events will also probably be important, right? When and how do things happen, right? These are things that we need to be paying attention to. He's still out, like he has not returned home after running away. I just zoomed in somehow. There we go. I did not know I could do that, but now that will make my analysis so much more enjoyable. I also have no idea how much elixir I was just leaking there for that time, but let's just do this. That's a Sparky. Oh my god, the Ice Spirit. That was crazy. 2 hits? Oh, just 1. That was crazy though. Yeah, you can cry all you want, bud. I have E-Wiz. Like, good game.
Oh no!
What are you doing, dude? Alright. Let's not get too distracted now. Here's Clerval, by the way, and it's also a good time to mention that Clerval was the one who helped heal Victor when he was sick after working for so long. Alright, I'm gonna let him just get that damage because I'm gonna hit him with this. Yep. And then I'm gonna hit him with this. It's not gonna be enough. But, you know what is enough? Okay, it's not enough. I deserve it. 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 I do. I do. I do. I deserve it. I get that. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. All right. All right. All right. That's why you don't BM, fellas. That's why you don't BM. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Anyway. I'm just kind of... Is this the same guy? Bro. I mean, I'll take the free... all of the free damage, thank you. Okay. Nice. Ooh. By George. My dear Frankenstein, how glad I am to see you. This bro has minion horde. Okay. It's 2026, dude. Anyway, they get together, right? Victor's clearly in the dumps. He has not seen anybody, by the way. He's been, like, isolating himself. And so Clerval, being the friend that he is, stops by, says hello. Now, I should also mention, first of all, electricity! There it is. What are you going for? That? Okay. Oh no, I'm doing it again, bro. I swear to God. I get a little bit too overconfident sometimes. You feel me? Man, if only Spirit Empress. Empress. Excuse me, Empress. If only she was across the bridge. Anyway, check this out. Yeah, Victor's lost his mind, right? Clerval's like, dude, you're kind of freaking me out. You're like laughing, like you're insane. You're scaring me, dude. We gotta do something. Like, you've been cooped up for a little too long, okay? So Victor's saying, save me, right? And here we have that little moment when Clerval is helping Victor heal up. Oh. That was a bit scary, but he still has done 0 damage to my towers. Is this the guy going? Because I'm gonna have to hit him with that. I gotta get my revenge. Okay, Mini P.E.K.K.A should go in front there, yep. Sparky, it was a little bit scary, but we're fine. Yeah, you can have that damage. Wow. He's healing him up, he's treating him, he's sick, he's not doing very well mentally either, right? And then we get to chapter 5. The main focus of this excerpt is these couple of pages here, right? The description, his reaction, his feelings of disgust and regret towards the creation of the monster, right? As opposed to his excitement from before. And again, what action he decides to take as a result of the monster seeing him, right? So now... Oh, cool, I can do this from here. I don't think you can see it. Now you can. Our next excerpt that will be featured in the assessment is Chapter 2 of Volume 2, okay? Now I'm going to skip ahead. The intro isn't so important. Not as much as this part here, which we have talked a great deal about in class. This is the big argument, right? Is also where we discover as the reader for the first time that the monster, when he was abandoned by Victor, has learned to speak very, very well, right? Let's change our deck for the occasion since we've changed our chapter. So there's a lot of stuff that happens in this argument. It's a little bit overwhelming at first, which is why we kind of break it down into paraphrases when we get to this point in class. But I just kind of want to go over again, like, some of the things I talked about, and different ways that we can interpret what's being said here, right? Now, I will just say, Victor's dialogue, for the most part, is pretty much the same throughout this entire this entire interaction. So here's my best, like, imitation of that. I hate you, I hope you die, I never want to see you, I regret making you, you're an embarrassment to science and mankind. I'll kill you myself, I'll beat you to death with my bare hands. That's what Victor said, not me. That's what Victor said. Okay. And that's, I mean, again, that's the entire interaction here, but let's get into it, okay? Because the monster's making a very specific argument, more so a request. What is that request? Well, he just wants Victor to listen to him, right? Nothing crazy. He's just like, look man, you left me behind. I had to figure everything out myself. Could you please just listen to me before you start, like, telling me you want to kill me? And there's a very specific quote here that's at the beginning that echoes what I just said, right? How dare you sport thus with life? When he says sport, he means, like, play with, right? As some sort of, like, game. How dare you sport with life like this? And speaking of Victor's approach, by the way, he says, I expected this reception, right? Yeah, you left me for dead a year ago. Like, yeah, this doesn't surprise me that this is how you're acting, right? So, at this point in the story, the monster's really trying to take the moral high ground here, right? Now, that becomes a little more ambiguous once we get further into the story, of course, but here's a little example of Victor's anger issues. Ooh, nice turret. That was good timing, actually. That was very good timing. Do you dare approach me, and do not you fear the fierce vengeance of my arm wrecked on your miserable head? Be gone, or I'll trample you to dust, right? I wasn't really overreacting, right, in my example, was I? God, this Mega Minion is really kind of killing my flow, though, I won't lie. That was probably a mistake. I'm kind of fumbling the bag right now, you guys. I think I just lost the game. Okay. Oh. Anyway. Abhorred monster, blah blah blah, wretched devil, I'm gonna extinguish the spark which I so negligently bestowed, right? It was a mistake, I never should have made you, right? But here's where things get interesting, okay? Because now we start to hear a little bit about the monster's experiences with humankind, and the way that he's been treated, right? Have I not suffered enough, right? That you seek to increase my misery. You try to make me feel even worse now. I keep forgetting I could do this. I could double click to zoom in. That's so handy. It's like it was meant for Mr. Clasher. You know what I mean? That was a rage moment. That should have been a rage moment, but you know. This is also. Ooh. My God. I mean, it still did a lot of damage, but that was a crazy play. I'm still low on elixir, really at the disadvantage here, but I felt good about that at the very least. He's stacking up another push. I mean, look. What's bro planning? That's my question. Just gonna let that fizzle out. Now, here is something also that I find interesting, because I feel like in this moment, the monster and Victor are almost opposites, right? Victor has everything he could probably want, really. And he's, you know, so forlorn, right? About his own existence. And the monster, who was never meant to be made, and who's treated like absolute garbage his entire life, still claims that even though he is absolutely miserable, he still loves life, and he will defend it with his life. It's a little bit late on the rage there, but ooh. This, however, is pretty nice damage. Not tying anything up or anything, but looking good at the very least. Okay, he's gonna arrows. I'm gonna build up a push. Now, after this, the monster continues, okay? We have two very important recognitions here. That was bad. Man, this guy's killing me. I did not mean to play that, but you know what? It works, so... Oh, I love an E Golem player, you know? There's nothing more fun than playing against an E Golem player. It's a fact. It was proven by Supercell themselves. Remember that you made me more powerful than yourself, right? Like, he's towering over him at 8 feet tall, right? He's undead, so can he even die anyway, right? But he says, I'm not going to fight you, even though Victor is basically asking to fight him to the death. He's like, I could easily kill you, I'm not going to do that, right? But here is where things can sometimes be confused or misunderstood, okay? I ought to be thy Adam, but I am rather the fallen angel whom thou drivest from joy for no misdeed, right? There's a question in a solo, I believe, that was asking once what characters the monster was like comparing himself to here, right? Now, this is an illusion that we talked about that happened in Paradise. That is alluding to Paradise Lost, I should say. And Adam, right, the first man, the Garden of Eden, and all that, was treated by God, or at least this version of God, right, with, again, kindness. Got everything he wanted, right? Controlled the land, so forth and so on. And so when the monster's saying, I ought to be thy Adam, he's saying, I should be Adam to you, because you're my God, essentially. You created me. But you're treating me like the fallen angel, and who's the fallen angel? It's the devil, right? You're treating me like the devil for doing nothing wrong. Now, we'll hear his story later and be the judge of that ourselves, okay? But it remains... I have to get used to playing on a PC again. Goodness. This is an easy rage. Oh, it's such an easy rage. Oh, my lord. Please. A little more value, please! Yes! Yo, that's crazy value, though. Imagine if I didn't Vines that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put a Sparky up here, try and get the princess after I murk this guy. Here we go. And then I'm gonna hit him with one of them. That's not good, though. He's charging up big time. Uh-oh, shiver me timbers. Alright, easy money. Be gone, I will not hear from you. We're gonna fight to the death, right? You see what I mean when I say that Victor's dialogue doesn't really change at all? Okay, yeah, sure, just go that way. Wow. Alright, well, we lose, I think. No, we don't. Wow, 6-7. Victor says the same thing. How can I move thee? How can I change your mind? How can I make you see things differently? Believe me, Frankenstein, he says, I was benevolent, okay? Benevolent. Not malevolent. Benevolent. Okay, that's how you say it. That's how you say that word. Benevolent.
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
What does it mean? Well, you're learning in 8th grade what that means. To be benevolent is to be gracious, merciful, generous, right? Why am I fighting so many Inferno dragons? For the love of everything friendly and joyous in this world. Can I please, the prettiest please I could ever, plea for. Can I please just for once This is how monsters are made, my friends. Just kidding. How can I move thee? I was benevolent. My soul glowed with love and humanity, right? Benevolence. But am I not alone, miserably alone? He's not just saying that because he's feeling lonely. He is the only thing like him to exist in this world, right? He is truly alone. Also, I completely... Oh yeah, it was the freaking eagle, the franking eagle. I want to start replacing freaking with franking just because it's funny. Let's zoom back out here. Then we have these two gargantuan claims here as Victor stands in awe. He doesn't really know what to say, right? Nice zap. Ooh. It's a little bit unfortunate, not gonna lie. Nice rocket, though. Alright, we're still in it. You, my creator, abhor me. You hate me. Your fellow creatures spurn and hate me as well, right? No one loves me. Everyone hates me. You made me this way. You know? It's gonna zap and it's all gonna be over. It doesn't even matter. This is truly just the worst. I have wandered here many days in the caves of ice, right? He's also saying he's got no home, right? He's been living in caves because people hate him. And Victor is still like, nah, you're evil. You're a monster. I hate you. If the multitude of your mankind knew of my existence, they would do as you do and arm themselves, try to kill him, right? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. It's over. They would do as you do and arm themselves for my destruction. Shall I not then hate them who abhor me, right? And this is the philosophy that's kind of questioned throughout the entire book, right? I was born sinless, essentially, right, is what he's saying. I've done nothing wrong. And because of the crime of my birth, I am being treated this way, right? I think that's essentially what he's actually saying. It's another Inferno Dragon. It's another Inferno Dragon. It's another Inferno Dragon. Nice upgrade. He says, am I not alone, miserably alone? Oh yes, driven from joy for no misdeed, right? Is it really no misdeed? Well, again, I think what he's saying here for no misdeed is he's saying I was born and being treated this way, right? So, shall I not hate them who abhor me is essentially his logic, right? Like, I've done everything I could. I've been benevolent, I've been kind, gracious, generous, and they hate me. So is it the way of the world then? Should I not hate them too? And so here afterwards is where the creature says, please, I need you to listen to me. I need to tell you my story because you have ignored me for years. Or I guess a year, technically. This is horrible. Why is everybody... Oh my god, is this the new meta? I haven't played for so long. Is this what's happening now? Is this the game? He says, listen to me. I need you to listen to my tale. Then he says, you want to kill me so much, right? But, you know, you accuse me of murder too, right? So, are you also a murderer? Are you also a demon, right? You accuse me of murder, and yet you would, with a satisfied conscience, destroy your own creature, right? I'm not asking you to save my life. I ask you not to spare me. Just listen to me. Then you could kill me if you want. That's what he says, right? Actually, I could zoom in here. I ask you not to spare me, listen to me, and then if you can is crazy, by the way, if you can and if you will, destroy the work of your hands. So Victor's like, well, actually not yet. He's still got more in him, I forgot. Cursed be the day, he says, in which you first saw light. And then I basically said this in class because I think it's funny. He rage baits himself into cursing himself. Cursed be the hands that formed you, right? Curse me, curse myself, right? Curse you, curse me, curse everybody. You've made me wretched beyond expression, he says. Be gone. The creature says, hear my tale, dude. It's like, you've been saying the same thing over and over again. Just listen to me. And then, he also makes a threat here too, right? Whether I quit forever the neighborhood of man and lead a harmless life, or become the scourge of your fellow creatures and the author of your own speedy ruin. He's saying, yeah, you know what? If you want me to be a monster, I can be a monster, right? But, you could also listen to me. And then Victor's like, well, I guess. After all of that, right? Again, right, like, Victor is a very stubborn individual. I think that the stubbornness really lasts until his death. But the monster here also sees a really interesting character progression through the story afterwards, right? In that he's calling himself benevolent and kind and gracious and loving. He's done no misdeed. But then as he tells his tale, and as Victor and the monster have more confrontations, I guess you could say, things start to get a little bit more concerning, right? Nice, I got the wizard with that. I think it was worth it. Oh, and I activated King, too. That's huge, especially with all the damage I just took. Yikes, dude. He becomes more volatile. When I say volatile, I mean unstable, right? He starts to gain pleasure in Victor's suffering. And essentially, instead of dedicating himself to trying to reconnect to Victor, he's now dedicating himself to essentially the destruction of Victor. Because that's all Victor wanted, to do to the creature, so why not do it to him? Take a few hits from that guy, throw some spears at him, that's fine. This is fine too. Get the vines ready. Now? Rage, get the rage ready, I mean? Okay, that was not as good as I had hoped it would be. It was still pretty alright though. Got some chip on the tower with that as well. But yeah, so these two excerpts are what we're really talking about for the assessment. Again, knowing what the allusions mean, knowing what their tones are, what they're asking for.
10 seconds later.
Anyway, okay. All of the aforementioned skills that you need to know. Close reading, which we did recently as well. These are all super important for your understanding of the text, and especially, by the way, being able to find quotes. Like I highlighted some of them that I talked about, right? But being able to find quotes that actually work for your argument for the open response questions, that's super important too, right? And I'll just say here as well before I end the video, there are sometimes questions, right, or answers to open-ended questions that I would disagree with, that I still give full credit for because they argue their point really well, right? It might not be the answer I'm looking for, but if you can, make a claim with evidence and convince me that you're right, yeah, absolutely, right? So again, give it your best shot. Try not to leave anything blank, okay? And I will see you next week.